Hi, it's Mr. Adams here, a mathematics teacher with over 20 years teaching experience. In this video, I want to explain the counterintuitive idea that if you're a homeowner, you would actually want your house to go down in value rather than up. We have this housing paradox. We're told that as property prices increase in value, we are told that we're wealthier, and yet many who own homes don't actually feel this. Let's say we've got this situation where you've got a $500,000 house and you've also got $500,000 in shares. So which would you rather happen? The house to double in value or the shares to double in value? Just keep in mind, whichever one you choose doubles for everyone else. Even though it looks like initially it doesn't matter which one you choose, most people will actually pick option 2. If you pick option 1, you'll be no richer because everyone else's house has gone up in value. If you sell your home, you will still need to buy a new home of which the price of that has also doubled. With option 2, you can sell those shares for other assets, goods and services that you want. You will be definitely richer in this scenario. But to find out why, let's look at the situations a little bit more closely. The options are asymmetrical. Option 1, you could theoretically sell your $1 million house and buy shares. You would have $1.5 million in shares, but you would be homeless. Option 2, on the other hand, you could sell the $1 million in shares and end up with 3 houses worth $500,000 each, or you could have a home and $1 million in whatever asset that you want. But wait, what if the shares are overvalued? Well, this is still not going to change anything because you can sell these shares for $1 million in cash or $1 million of whatever you want. So you still have the house and $1 million of other assets. I've mentioned in a previous video that your primary residence is a semi-transferable asset. And what I mean by this is that you can sell your house, but you need to buy another house at the same time. Otherwise, you end up as homeless. Now, to become richer, you must be able to buy more with an asset than previously. Your primary residence doesn't do this because if it doubles in value and everything else doubles in value, you're not able to purchase anything more. Therefore, you're not any richer. Let's look at some scenarios. Let's say you want to move from one house to another one. In scenario 1, the house that you initially bought in 2010 was worth $500,000 and then you sold it for $1 million. But the house that you're buying also was $500,000 in 2010 and is now worth $1 million. In this case, you haven't made any money even though your house has doubled in value. In scenario 2, I've got all house prices remaining the same. So it's more clear here that there's no financial advantage either way. In scenario 3, I look at the situation where house prices halve. So that house you initially bought for $500,000 is worth $250,000. That seems like a loss, except the house that you want has gone from $500,000 to $250,000. So you are no worse off. So the conclusion here is that in all 3 scenarios, no money was made or lost. In all 3 scenarios, you ended up in the same house. There is no financial advantage in any of these scenarios. When all house prices go up in value, we should actually call this house inflation because this is like the scenario where you may get a pay rise of 5%, but if everything you're buying also goes up by 5%, then you were no better off. So the question at this stage is, did I mislabel this video? Because I said that homeowners should want their house prices to go down in value. So far, all that I've argued is that it doesn't matter if they go up or down. Lower property prices makes it cheaper to move. this is one of the first obvious and biggest benefits. The things that are cheaper when house prices are down is that stamp duty is less, real estate fees are less, bank fees are less, the cost of having two places at once while you move is also less. Let's have a look at the scenario where you're upgrading your home. So in 2010, your house was worth $500,000, and then in 2025, it's worth $1 million. So it's increased by $500,000. The house that you want was worth $600,000 in 2010, but has also doubled. It's now worth $1.2 million. The difference in 2010 was $100,000, which then doubles to $200,000 in 2025. So it costs an extra $100,000 to get this home. So let's look at the scenario where the house prices halve in value. So that 2010 house that you originally bought for $500,000 is now worth $250,000. The house that you wanted was originally worth $600,000, but is now worth $300,000. When we look at the calculation here, in 2010 the difference was $100,000, which halved to $50,000 in 2025. So it is now $50,000 cheaper to get the home that you wanted. It is correct that the reverse is also true. If you want to downsize, it means that the profit will also reduce. However, more people are looking to upgrade than to downsize. We are naturally aspirational. So this is an asymmetrical problem. We also need to consider the bank of mum and dad. So this is where parents help their kids into the property market. Now, traditionally, this would only happen very occasionally, but it has now become the most common way that people are able to break into the property market. As house prices have increased, parents are spending more on helping their children with deposits, as it's pretty well the only way that they can save enough money. They're also loaning their children money, but ultimately a lot of parents end up forgiving those loans, and so they don't actually get that money back. So in conclusion, people who own a home are better off when property prices decrease. It makes it cheaper to move house, it's cheaper to upgrade, and it's also cheaper to help our children. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. Please leave a review and a comment. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a mathematics teacher with a passion for teaching financial literacy. Please read the disclaimer.